always been good at things, being a beginner feels like losing a part of yourself. Achievement stops being something you do and becomes who you are. You cannot make mistakes. You cannot be wrong. You are always known as the capable one, the reliable one, the one who figures things out. So what happens? What happens when you are not good at things? When you can't figure things out and you don't know what's going on? When you cannot decide what is right and what is wrong? What happens then? Moving to Australia made me a beginner at everything. Not just jobs, not just systems, not just routines or rules or knowing how things work, but life itself. Oh, and don't ask me when, but I've officially entered my adulthood. Let me tell you one thing. I think adulthood is a skill and I'm not good at it yet. Growing into an adult in a new country is a different story. You go from being confident to Googling the most basic things. Struggling between money and career, security and passion, survival and growth. Everything is new. Even English, a language I've spoken forever, felt foreign because of the accent. And no one prepares you for that version of yourself. The one who doesn't know anything. And then it hits you. It hits you that being new at everything isn't just inconvenient. It's so uncomfortable. It makes you doubt yourself, second guess choices, and makes you feel like you're constantly chasing the stability, the unknown, the future. Sometimes I feel like I live in the future all the time in my head, or sometimes in the past, but barely in the present. Starting everything from scratch in a new country feels so awkward and unfamiliar. But as usual, time does its thing and you get used to it. Before you know it, you start gaining the strength out of it.
मैले कस्तो हेभनली हुन्छ सोचेको थिएँ क्या खतरा दामी हुन्छ जस्तो हेभनली ओभररेटेड फिल भयो तर हामीले रियलवाला नखाएर हो कि यो अस्ट्रेलियन रियल हो तर त्यो कुरुङ कुरुङ गरेर चाहिँ मजा आउँदो रहेछ है ओके 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 10 आउट अफ कति त हो यो क्रन्ची चाहिँ 8 होइन तर हामीले चाहिँ जुन जति सोचेको थियो नि त्यो यस्तो खतरा हुन्छ होला भनेर त्यो चाहिँ 5
I say I fear being a beginner, but maybe I fear not being impressive. I fear learning something new and not being immediately good at it. Trust me, it's so humbling. And when you've built your identity around excellence, being average feels like failure. And I know in my head that it isn't a failure. Adulthood does not arrive gently, or at least to me, it burst in. Career, money, health, relationships, family, and most importantly, identity. All those aspects demand your undivided attention at once, and you are expected to handle it like an expert. You cannot go wrong, you cannot make mistakes. No one tells you that you are allowed to be new at this. You are allowed to figure things out. You are allowed to take time. Recently, I was scrolling through TikTok and I came across this neurological fact about how time feels like it's flying by when you are an adult or when you are growing old. So what happens is that as a kid, everything is new. New chapter, new friends, new school, new this, new that. Your brain is constantly stimulated. Because you don't know anything, you are in an uncomfortable situation, and that makes it feel like the time is going slower. But as adults, we repeat. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. Our brain is not stimulated anymore. It's just used to everything that we have already seen and things that we have already done. So maybe time isn't speeding up. Maybe we just stopped being bad at things. We just stopped being beginners. At the end of 2025, I tried listing my biggest achievements, and I couldn't even reach up to 10. 365 days a year, and my achievements were limited to below 10. In hindsight, I realized that I was only counting milestones and not the moments. For example, I counted moving to Australia, but not the 20 books I managed to read. Not dinners with my family, not quiet growth no one saw. Maybe we only validate what looks impressive, and that's why being a beginner scares us. It's not impressive, it's not impactful. You're almost invisible. But maybe the fear of being a beginner isn't something to fix. Maybe adulthood is something you grow into, navigate your way as you go through, and just be okay with that. Maybe being a beginner, it's just a reminder that I'm still growing, still stretching into someone new, still figuring it out. And honestly, I'd rather be becoming than pretending I've already arrived. Because this is my first time here, and that's okay.